Crime, vandalism, trash. When we ask you the question, is Portland over? We are also reporting on solutions. What's working? What's not? How can we do better? And sometimes you can find new ideas and solutions in other places, other cities, other towns. On a recent visit to San Diego, I found a program addressing the trash problem surrounding homeless camps. It's Cash for Trash Day in this area of San Diego, known as the Triangle District. The homeless here are provided with trash bags twice a week. Every Monday and Thursday morning, they bring their garbage to this giant dumpster. In exchange, they're paid $2 cash for each bag of trash.
It's a program to address the street cleanliness. Our mission is to alleviate the suffering of homelessness throughout San Diego County. This is just one pilot program of a whole host of programs that we fund.
Drew Mosier is the executive director of the Lucky Duck Foundation. It was started by philanthropist and former University of Oregon athletic director Pat Kilkenny. The foundation funds emergency transition shelters and other homeless programs. Lucky Duck funded this pilot program targeted to specifically address garbage, trash, and filth, a problem we're all too familiar with in Portland.
And this is a chance to give people an opportunity to alleviate their suffering by being able to clean up their surroundings and contribute to the overall street cleanliness.
Cash for Trash started in March. So far, it's been a huge success. In just 26 days of operation, almost 30 tons of trash has been removed from the streets by the homeless themselves, averaging 1.5 tons of garbage each morning the dumpster arrives.
The interest and response has been really, really positive from people suffering on the streets, community members, business owners who are seeing the significantly improved and cleaned up conditions. So we're pleased with these early results.
Over the last 6 months, we've documented the homeless and trash problem here in Portland at Southeast 94th and Pardee. After every organized cleanup, the homeless return, along with the mountains of trash and garbage.
If 3 other tents are making a mess, then they implicate us with everybody else, like, oh, you're homeless, so you're dirty homeless, you know what I'm saying?
Last February, I spoke with Will and Ashley, who live in a tarp-covered trailer on the street. A few weeks ago, I spoke with Will again. He told me he hates living around garbage and would welcome a program like Cash for Trash.
Yeah, that would be a good idea, but I mean, they don't even have to pay us as long as they give us like trash bags and like gave us a number to call as they're giving us the trash bags. Hey, here, call this number, and once you have enough trash bags, you call the number, and then somebody could come up and pick the trash bags up.
Those living on the street do find ways to get cash. We documented a homeless man in downtown dumping out a case of bottled water purchased with an EBT card, earning a few dollars by recycling the empty bottles. It's a reason why the Cash for Trash project in San Diego makes simple sense. Involve the homeless as part of the solution.
As often, there's nothing perfect in homelessness, but there is best in class. And if something is 80 or 90% solid or a good idea, we need to act on that idea.
When it comes to cleaning up the city, Portland has struggled to cut through red tape and bureaucracy, different agencies and bureaus finger-pointing over who's responsible. Frustrated neighbors and the group Adopt One Block recently banded together to clean up property owned by ODOT.
We're paying taxes, and they are awash in money, and this is their land. They are the responsible party for getting and keeping it clean. We're tired of excuses. This has been going on for years.
This is just common sense. It puts one centralized command structure over 20 different city programs and 8 different bureaus, which are currently managed by 5 different members of the Portland City Council.
In a State of the City address earlier this month, Mayor Wheeler announced a new emergency declaration to cut through the bureaucracy that has led to a lack of urgency and accountability in Portland's recovery efforts.
Last week, COIN answered their own question, stating, is Portland over? No. Signs of hope exist, but there's a lot of work to do. I wholeheartedly agree.
There is a lot of work to do, but we can't solely rely on City Hall. Budgets and well-intentioned plans, mayors and council people come and go. Portland isn't San Diego, but we might learn from how the Lucky Duck Foundation is confronting homeless problems by involving local businesses and community leaders who are committed to taking action, finding solutions, and holding city leaders accountable.
This group has agreed to really sign on for life that this is going to be their philanthropic endeavor, and a part of that commitment is agreeing to survive generations of politicians, to collaborate with them, but also hold them accountable. We do not care about credit, we care only about results. We'll be the first ones to pat them on the back if they take a legitimate step forward and practical action steps. But if the effort's lacking, the pat on the back's going to be lower and harder. And we're not afraid to confront them or try to hold their feet to the fire to do more proactive, immediate steps to immediately help those suffering on the streets in their homelessness.
So one way to contribute and help with cleaning up Portland is to get involved with Solve. Solve has now expanded their volunteer efforts to focus on areas in and around homeless camps, moving in with volunteers to clean up these areas. That's in addition to their regular cleanups of downtown Portland that were going on even during COVID. So Solve has been Portland's example of how an organized effort of volunteers can make a real difference in returning Portland to the kind of place we know it can be. So we need you to get involved. Go to coin.com right now. Check out dozens of volunteer opportunities with Solve.
Well, living here in our area, we all have